following is a special MRE Uno presentation, Division 1, Super League 2024. Brock, Steven, the immovable Rock versus the Canadian stock. You can buy the Canadian, but you can't sell the Rock. The Rock has been more rested. He's inevitable in this format in Greece. Downhill, no power play, and a heart to forsake those who avenge fury in the soul. This isn't no ordinary world for the Rock. The unknown showed his colors against Ghost. Steven is ready. He knows the atmosphere of D1 and the energy that encompasses the rituals of the burning spirit and a table of talkers and shakers. Canadian Crusade will be flying high, but the rocks of the atmosphere will create turbulence to the unknown in the Greek sky. The Georgia native versus the Canadian. A lot is on the line. A perennial favorite that is William Brock. A true unknown that is Steven from D2. He no longer has that D2 name. He's a D1 culprit, and he's ready to fight. This is high class. This is high society. High stakes action. Expect a war. It's the Rock. It's the Crusade. Do I say any more? Welcome to Week 2 of Super League. Welcome to the Mecca that they call William Brock and Steven. Welcome back, William Brock from the island. It's time to show who's got the biggest and baddest in Greece. Welcome back to Super League 2024, Group B. As I said in the introduction, it's the immovable Rock versus the Canadian stock. You may be able to sell the stock, but can you buy the Rock? We're going to find out tonight. Big game here. William Brock off the island, maybe a little bit coast of Santorini, Greece, and now he moves into Athens looking for some points on the board, where Steven had a great D1 showing. Can he continue that D1 showing? We'll find out tonight as he looks for another point or potentially three against one of the perennial favorites in this Group B. Hello, everybody, and welcome to versus Brock versus Steven. Obviously, last week was a little bit of an interesting road for Steven. He played Ghost. Nam, one of the perennial favorites, lost. What will happen tonight? A big game on the line right here. We're going to the stage a little bit. How we did last night? Well, the first two rounds of this game, we've had ties. JT up 3-0 in Group A. All but had the game locked and loaded. He was all but ready to win that game. But then Lane, back-to-back lightning struck twice. Mr. Houdini himself, 3-3, ties it up, 2 points on the board. And with how that group's going, a third tie and maybe one win. That could be enough to get in. We'll see. This group's more loaded. We saw Ghost Chomik last night. Chomik all but needed a tie after the rate he was playing. He got that tie, down 2-1. Ghost splits the point. He's got 2 on the board, moves to second in the standings. But we enter the Rock tonight, who just came off the island, fresh. Steven had a great performance against Ghost. A really intriguing game for both of these players tonight. And in the nightcap, the final game of the round, Toasty versus Sanford. For Toasty, an insane game against Lane. Should have had it won, but couldn't capitalize. He's got a point on the board. Sanford coming in, obviously looking to end those demons that was 2023 Super League, where it did not work out. He's fresh off the island. We'll see how it goes tonight for the Sandman. Because Brock did not play last week, here's how his season was. Well, it started off pretty firework-esque. Had DJ lost 4-3 back in that insane March Madness game, of course, in the round 32. Then he had a good T2, had some wins against Kev, Eli notably, and then took the 5-1 to Monkey, took the L. Then they had the first round loss to ALP, which he admitted needed to be better on ammo. Took a quick little detour, get the win on Dark, but then took a loss to Tago in T4 and T5. He just turned the wick up. Big wins against Nam, one of his group mates, Vapor, JT, another group mate in Group A, and of course the Final Four against Allen to get to the finale. Lost to Tago 6-2, but a lot of momentum on Brock's side to finish 9-5. He's going to have a lot at stake. These are not the updated standings on the screen, but basically it's basically as close as you can get the update. Chomik Ghost, Chomik at 4, Ghost at 2. The same GD, the game differential is plus 2-0. Steven here, of course, 0 game differential. I'll put on the board is in third if we started the round 12 today. Brock just coming off the island. We'll see how he does tonight. And a big game for Nam next week against Ghost in week 3 as he rests up to get his job done in week 2 to learn and study his opponents. Well, that's it for me on the pregame. Let's move into the scene here. And joining me is just going to be Yoshi and the players. We're going to start with Yoshi. Obviously, Yoshi, it's been a long time, very long time. Yes, and by the way, that I was muted. That is correct. Remember, these intros are 2.5 minutes now for Super League. So if you hear a longer pause, that's the reason why. But yeah, your thoughts on this game. Obviously, you've seen a lot of Steven. You're probably going to be more of my man for that. I understand how his style. But I've seen Brock, and Brock has got tremendous fade looks. His ammo is incredible. You know any fade Brock will do, he'll put it in there and take the job and get it done. Thoughts on this game tonight? It's going to be a perennial favorite versus an underdog in a sense.
Yeah, I think this could be a battle of fade looks because I think both players have done situations like that where they make the player think that they don't want this color, then they switch it in and then they get the win. I mean, I wouldn't say these styles are similar, but I would say that, in terms of just those little situations where it's like maybe it's a good time to fade look. That's when they both kind of have that similar style of like maybe now is the right time. So yeah, I think this could be a game. This is gonna be an interesting game because with Brock just kind of definitely a more out there style, which with some people it definitely works, and others it doesn't as well, but still being able to keep up with it, I think it could go a long way. This is Brock's first game, so we'll see how he handles it because he could end up in the same situation as Nam, where his first game ends up being a loss. So, which wouldn't be a greatest spot, but he could definitely come back from that for sure. But we'll see how Brock he's taken after seeing what happened in week 1 going into this week. I mean, yeah, definitely curious on how he handles a new player as well because he hasn't seen Steven until this point unless he watched the Ghost Steven match. So that's really all the data he can really get. So that's going to be. So we'll see if he can handle that. And for Steven, I mean, he had a good showing considering the result was a tie. I think most people would think Steven wouldn't be able to keep up, but he's able to keep up with Ghost. We'll see if he can keep up with Brock. I mean, definitely a completely different style, I feel. Gonna be more of like a pace that he could definitely handle. I mean, it didn't really matter. It didn't really seem to be that much of a problem against Ghost, but regardless, he's definitely got to be aware of what Brock tries to do because Brock is not afraid to throw some ammo down early if he wants to. So there's definitely a lot that Brock can bring to the table. It's definitely these two players are definitely multi-dimensional in terms of how they play. They like to switch it up sometimes. So they're both going to have to be aware of that for whoever gets the job done, or at least if they can make it 3-3. I mean, to keep up with each other's play styles, it's definitely going to be adapting as the games go on.
Well, let's start it off with William Brock. Brock, welcome back, my friend. Obviously, you weren't here for that Ghost Steven game. You were my main co-commentator, so you know how Steven plays. You know what his drills are. What have you learned over the course of just seeing now the action into week 2? What did you learn in that bye week in terms of the mentality? We know your ammo control is going to be fantastic. We know you've talked about it in the past, right? Every time you have a question, it's about controlling the ammo, making sure the phase are good. But what do you see in Steven's game that you can rattle his cage tonight and get those 3 points to start the round off well?
Well, honestly, I hardly remember much of anything from that game. So, but I would imagine that he'll probably try and pull a lot of the power cards early. So I if I could just slow him down, get him, maybe try to control the fade, and yeah, that I think that might lead me to a victory.
Steven, obviously you had a good first impression. Thank you, Brock. Of course, against Ghost, but this is a different player. You're playing somebody you have no idea who it is, right? You got to adapt to the style that almost every player pretty much in this group. The only exception I would say, if there was one exception, maybe be Nam, because you have seen him around in D2 chats. But this is probably your biggest test tonight, knowing that Brock plays about 16,000 looks. How do you try to handle those looks and secure those 3 points, or at minimum a point, to get even with Ghost? I'm not sure if you're going to type or speak, but we'll see. Steve?
Sorry,
There you
could you? My Wi-Fi was acting up. Could you repeat the question?
All right, no problem. I said this is probably your biggest test tonight, in a sense that Brock has a lot of looks, a lot of fades, a lot of plays that's unconventional. You haven't seen him. I would say this whole group, you have to learn everyone's new style, except for Nam, maybe, because you've seen him around D2 chats, and I think you have seen a couple of his games. But your thoughts on playing Brock? This is probably your biggest unknown of the group. How are you going to handle it tonight?
No, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna have to see what he does and adjust accordingly. That's also why I wanted to defer the coin toss, just to see what he'll pick and see what his playstyle is like. So I'll let him take the home turf for these first 3 games, and then I'll see what I'll do in the later 3.
I think it's fair enough. It's going to be a good game. A lot on the line here. Brock, as Steven said, will be the recipient. He'll receive the toss, right? He technically lost it, but he'll get the first 3. We've seen a lot of mixed bags with the toss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see. Got Brad joining us. Maybe I'll go to him at some point after this game 1, and we'll go from there. I'm just going to wait for Yoshi here. He's going to do something for me real quick. So he's done it. So he's going to initiate the game. Best of 6, of course. Ref I will be Brock going first, as he will be the guy on games 1 through 3. There we go. Best of 6. There we go. No power play. And the old TI is just a quick 3-3 as usual. Reminder here, big stakes on the line for both players. Brock making his debut in Super League right here, and he gets the game 1 call. Brock, it's an honor to call you, my man, to your first ever Super League call. How many cards for game number 1?
Let's start with 12.
We're going to go 12-pack. All right, William Brock going to go up the ladder, starts it off the dozen. Just going to input that. There it is. Big match here. William Brock, Steven, they know what's on the line. Another +2 start. It's been an absolute classic. I'm Joe King, huh? Or talking about Brock. Oh, you're joking? Oh, I get it. I see what you did. Yoshi, early in this game, we're going to see how... we know Steven's got a lot of table talk. We'll see. Brock is one of those cold stone killers. He's not going to really care for that. He's going to be on the table running it clean as usual.
Yeah, that's the kind of the way he is. Just play the cards, try something, and see if it works out. Not gonna look at really what's happening on the table. Just looking at the cards.
Yeah, right now you look at Steven doing a little pre-type. Brock as well. Just going to... Yeah, it's been a long day for the old KT. There's no doubt. But we'll see how it goes here. Appreciate you making light of the situation. Now, Brock taking his time here, really thinking this one through. One of the rare things that Brock does is think this one through. So I'm interested to see what his move will be.
Yeah, it is his turn. So just make sure. Yep, there you go.
Pace management. We've seen pace management. We saw Nam do this, and we talked about this. What a storyline this would be if Nam and Brock are in the hole to start the Super League campaigns. Of course, Nam couldn't do much. There's Nam right there, just speaking of Devil on that bye, has to adjust, but Brock definitely doesn't want to put that to bed, so he'll go Gangster on Jack on the blue 1. Now we're starting to pick up the pace. Here comes Steve, and he'll go up to the top floor of the Nick 9. Early in the game right here, a lot of back and forth shuffling. Brock, of course, with the PA, but Nam on a bye week, as I was saying. We'll see what he learns in week 3 against Goes. Brock, on the other hand, he's got a hard one again next week. Chomik is coming, the points leader. Regardless of what happens tonight, Brock will not be in the points lead. Steven, at the other hand, if he gets the win, would tie Chomik. Steven going to go for a double play. But this is what Brock has talked about, controlling that ammo. And this is the thing, Yoshi. Brock is really good at controlling it and not trying to rush things. And let's see if he continues that.
Yeah, Steven's going to be the one to just throw down a +4. And obviously, knowing that Steven isn't that close to the finish right now, he definitely going to look to just play it cool for now.
See if Brock's got anything in the back end. Just a double play from Steven. Brock now. Let's see what he does. First chance for Brock to maybe make a move on the table. Let's see if he does it.
Yeah, I think it's testing the red though. Oh, he does have some more. Okay.
It's a good eye strap from Brock. Tested. See, he's got nothing. So Brock really just has nothing on red. Maybe he's trying to get Steven to switch. He's gonna get the switch.
Oh man. This is what being the last color.
This is what Brock was waiting for. I got a feeling. Brock, patient. We talked about his patience. We saw it in T5. The patience was beaming. Does he do it right here? Yes, he does. He's going to go with a little Caesar play into Arya. That sends Steven back, and we got a game.
Yeah, he called it.
Yeah, I think that's what he was waiting. I think Brock was just waiting for that green to come. Bide his time. Don't rush something. See how it plays. Steven will get 2 extra cards. Brock trying to get down to the old 6-7 card line. See where he can go from there. We talk about the mid-tier package all the time with him. Went upper tier. Went upper deck the first game.
Oh.
That does not work. It's only a double.
Yeah, the wild does not skip a turn.
No. So now, well, okay. we know Brock knows a red 9 is coming.
Yeah, so he has a wild.
Great move.
He has a wild.
Great move.
It's one of the only things you could do there because from the.
Because I don't mind that call out. You gotta take the chance.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, because we saw Brock draw earlier on red. So I mean, the only thing I felt like he could have countered with was if he had a wild, and good save for him.
William Brock doing a good job now. He's running it down to 7. Steven has a red 9 in the back end. Now he's got to figure something out. He'll go to blue. That's still safe. That's still safe for Brock. He knows it.
Yeah. Oh my, wait a minute.
That is really aggressive from WB right there. Aggressive. Holy snap. Tries a nice sell.
Okay. That's going to be the 3rd wild.
And he's still safe. I mean, he's avoiding the 9. Brock now starting to run it down. Go for it.
I think we know what Steven's looking for. Oh, okay. I was going to say he was looking for the +4, but he's going to be able to switch into yellow. But yeah, still that one card that Brock knows.
Brock knows the red 9 is still lurking. That's the thing. He's not going to panic. And I don't think Brock had a 4-card running green. I highly doubt it. Yeah. Oh, he wants Steven to switch to that 9. He's going to want it. I don't think Steven's going to bite for that. I don't think he's going to bite for that. There's no way.
I mean, if it means getting to Uno, then it might be worth it, but I don't know.
This is an interesting. I think Brock's got set. What?
Okay.
Wow.
Well, if Brock draws, then okay, no, he does not.
No, that's not going to happen.
No.
Brock with the run. No. William Brock got the Uno. Is that game?
If he switched to red, that would have been.
It's not game.
Okay, never mind. It's not game.
But it's not going to be game either way. I mean, it's not. That's a smart move. It's a smart move. It's one of the rare times where it's a great move. Wow.
I was going to say, if that was game, then Steven should have switched into red. But I mean, I guess it didn't matter.
Nah, it wasn't. Hindsight's 20/20. You never know. There's Brock with the little top.
Oh my god.
Well, now.
Okay. Does Brock need it though? Oh no, he doesn't.
Now Steven can play that red 9. Gets away with the murder. Now, what will Brock do here? Does he have anything at all? No. Is that game?
Is it a red? Okay, no.
Well,
Nah,
now it's
I
all
was
square.
waiting.
We're going back to Draw City. That's
Well,
a
Steven.
it's a classic
No,
moment
no,
right
okay.
there. Classic moment right there. A lot of gamesmanship on the table. And I'm not surprised. Here comes Brock. Let's see if he's got anything off the top deck. A lot of the wilds have been used. Brock did a good job using those wilds to get out of it. And he's going to throw a +4.
Yeah, he finds it.
William Brock, momentum back in his favor all of a sudden. That's what Brock does, man. He finds these ways to just get his momentum back. It's definitely one of the more interesting, if not the most interesting style in this group.
Ooh, okay. It goes right back to red, which is a fair move to
ISO
me.
move. Looking for an ISO. Does Brock have 4 heaven? Nope. Smart move there from Steven. Even if it's a draw, it's a smart move.
Yeah. There's isolation.
But Brock, the king of the top deck, does he have a top deck right here?
Yeah. We've seen some of his top.
He's got a top deck. William Brock, the king of it. He'll find them, and that's what Brock's style is meant for. Top deck city. Steven's going to match. Brock looking for the lead, though, and maybe some more. He will get the lead in PA.
Interesting switch, but it's gonna. Oh my goodness, he with another 8.
Well, that's what Brock wanted earlier with the green, but he's out. Tie game now. Let's see if Steven can take the lead.
Yeah.
Double.
And the hands are likely to be scattered unless they.
A little slow there on the bot. It's all good. Steven gets another green.
He does have the greens, but he might soften his tracks. Oh no, he's got more.
Crazy almost call out from Brock right there. That almost worked.
The call out before Steven.
That was as close as you can get to timing it too.
Oh, great move.
Is it a good move? Is that number efficiency? No, it's.
Well, it would have to be a 6. Yeah, I feel.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Number efficiency. I called it. The 6, man. Wow. So Steven was going for the Peter Odge. I go to Brock here. Brock, you had some. I thought you had a game, man. I thought you had a game for sure with the green reverse, but you know what? It was a weird situation where you're trying to play with that red 9, and ultimately, I think you got bailed out because Steven probably, if he plays the red 9, you would have naturally went back to a yellow 9. So did you get bailed out on one sense and you just didn't know how to play that red 9? We're just trying to play too safe, or could you have been more aggressive?
Well, I would say the one thing, if when I hit that, before I hit that yellow and green, I felt like if I hadn't done that when I did, he probably wouldn't have won the game then. So I kind of tried to hold him off with that, but eventually it just didn't work out.
I will go over to Steven. Steven, really crazy game. Yeah, obviously a little mistake. We saw Ghost do a lot of those mistakes, like a lot of mistakes, I would say, on just terms of playing the card early and then trying to do a triple. Are you still figuring out the characteristics of those 3-4 commands? And talk to me about how you were able to get a little break there, because you could have took the bait, but ironically, if you did take the bait, he probably would have went right back to a yellow 9 anyway. So, or at minimum, right, maybe would have forced you into a yellow with the reverses. So, your thoughts on just not choosing to use the red bait and making it work out in the end? That was interesting. It's probably the most interesting part of that game, I would say.
For me, I just wanted to make a ditto play, so. But I mean, as long as the end result ended up with me winning, then I have no regrets. If I did end up losing, I probably would have regretted that. But thankfully, either way, it would have worked out for me. So I'm just glad for that.
No, I think you did a good job right there. Yoshi, this is interesting. We talk about these two. It's different type of game here. We talked about Steven really doing well in ammo exhaustion. We did see a little bit of that in this game. We saw a lot of ammo being flying, wild especially, +4s. Didn't see a lot of those +2s, though. It was a lower game on the +2s. That's really where this game could turn around. Not as many +2s. Do you think this game is where Yoshi, or do you think this game Yoshi is where Steven needs to get into ammo exhaustion wars to keep it going as 9-minute game, yeah, it's usually when we start getting the ammo territory, more than endurance bout. Thoughts on the win Steven's been getting on ammo exhaustion to keep him not only his season but his reputation alive here in this.
Yeah, we saw him use that +4 early in the game. It in a way it didn't really it seemed to work. It seemed to work. But yeah, I mean, if someone has the patience to kind of just wait for that color switch, knowing most likely that you're gonna need to switch eventually, does end up working out. I mean, at the same time, Steven. It is interesting how Steven chose to. Steven did have more red, even after switching into green. So I think I see his strategy there. Yeah, I mean, he had to kind of give away what he was going for because of using that wild. So sometimes when you use a lot of ammo, it makes a player want to use their ammo. And I think Brock was definitely more conservative, but eventually he was using it throughout, where it had to be more of a defensive, and that was kind of what helped him win the game there. I mean, not to any discredit, because I think Brock made some. I don't think any of his plays were necessarily bad. I mean, this is Super League. I mean, but just the way Steven was able to kind of play around, going aggressive early, and then seeing how Brock responds to it. I think he's definitely getting more of an idea on how he plays.
Well, early in this game right now, we talk about the advantages of either player. I think we've seen it. We saw Brock with isolation, Steve with ammo exhaustion. I think that could be the story brewing here in this game, too. All right, Brock, still open board. We know your mid tier is really good. What are we going here? Brock? Yo, Brock, you there?
Oh yeah. Next round, next game, I would say 10.
We're going to go to that mid tier. All right. This is what we talk about. Brock 7 through 10 has been lethal. We'll have a chance to maybe do that in game 3. We're going to go a little lower now. Big Brad Blue Deuce to start it off. We'll get Brad's thoughts after this game. You know, we talk about now the pressure starts to build for Brock here. You know, he's coming off the Bye Island. That's sometimes it's heaven, sometimes it's hell. Let's see what happens here. Brock looking for a yo for it.
Yeah, like the buy. I mean, everyone has a buy in this, and really, but it's different for everyone, or for most players at least, because they have to. Some players work better with bye weeks earlier and later, but you don't really. For most of these guys, they don't really know what works because this is the first time in Super League.
That's correct. Everybody first time except the two people that we'll see later tonight in Sanford and myself. Obviously, myself, I'll be towards the end of the month, or not even end of the month, end of next month. You'll see me. Sanford, we'll see next couple weeks here. He'll be the big test, I think. A lot of people interested to see what the Sandman doing. You got to look here, Yoshi. We talked about JT being a perennial favorite for this entire group stage, not just A or B, the entire group stage and the round 12 if he gets there. Brock and Nam were the same way. You know, they were in the same category. They were supposed to be here and supposed to turn up, and we saw we go Blue 7 here. We saw what Nam did, of course, week 1, and we saw what Brock did in game 1. You got to start thinking the Heat's getting turned up. Can Brock find a way in this critical game to tie it up and get to a game 3? He's going to switch early.
Yeah, I think this is.
Oh boy.
Well, anyway, yeah, Brock definitely, especially in a Super League situation, you don't want someone to get the momentum early, and we all a rainbow if we go back to blue, but
no way. Brock going to be disciplined here. He knows it. Might do a double play even. Yep.
There it is. But yeah, you're definitely right. Like, Brock is going to want to. He definitely feels the pressure and knows that he has to make sure that this game he gets the edge here. But for right now, he's He doesn't have much of red at the moment.
Maybe. You know, Brock, sometimes he likes to save this red, though. He's one of the best at saving these fades. He's really good at that. He might have red, but his saving
Yeah,
the
you're
fade.
right. You're right.
This is what how many times have we said Brock has no red at the end of the game, finishes on a red card?
Oh, that's not right.
No, there we go. So I think Brock may still have red. You always got to be wary with Brock. He's the best at this. That's
Yeah, they both made the same play.
monkey see, monkey do. It's a yellow 7. It's not a big deal. I'm sure Brock will. Well, that's what happens when one messes up, the other tends to fall. That's how the rules of psychology work. But Brock, you just there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You good, man? All right. Well, Brock now still in the lead in the yellow. Let's see what it's going to be from the Rock.
They're both able to run it down. Brock's still in the lead despite some of those draws. Yeah, and that +2. So
Wow,
back double yellow 4.
And yellow 8's been gone, so we're Camaro AB gone. What's it going to be from the Rock? He's going to go for a little skip action. No power play tonight. No, not a call out. Brock usually good at the call outs anyway.
On game though, does have a chance.
Brock makes the move. What's it going to be? Yeah, remember, no power play tonight, so that it doesn't really matter on that. You could probably get away with singles and double plays. We're not going to see the 4. Goes into blue, tries the wrist. Does Brock like it?
I had a feeling it was a wild.
Brock saved the wild. KT classic type move right there. Brock, that was one thing I've noticed so far, man. Your wild play. The way you've been saving these wilds is KT, Ashley, Brad. Talk to me about how you've been able to save those wilds lately to use your favor. That was a great move right there.
Yeah, as soon as I drew the wild when I was in draw C, I knew I had to save it as my last card. If he had used like a +2 or a +4 when I had my wild as my last, and that kind of would have held me off a little bit.
Steven, I think you did a good job that game maximizing it, but ultimately I think with no action cards being played, you had a +2 thrown at you. Did you just not have enough connectors, or could you have been more conservative on the aggressive switching? You were technically right on the red. He had no red, but it's Brock. You know he's going to fade it. Talk to me about how you have to play a little differently for this game 3.
No, yeah, for this game, oh my gosh, I got really unlucky. I kept drawing in the beginning, and all I got were numbers. I actually made a mistake here at the end. That could have helped me, but I had a +2, green +2, so I could have played that. But that was my only ammo. It was that and the wild, and those were the only cards I had. The rest I had were numbers, so maybe playing that +2 could have changed things, but it just wasn't a good game for me in terms of my draws.
Right, and you do play a +2. He still had that wild, so I think that came down to damn it if you do, damn it if you don't happens. Yeah, I don't have much to say on that one, Yoshi. This was just another Brock, typical saves the wild. So you're starting to learn that culture of it, and I think he did a good job. It's been even on ammo. I mean, 1-on-1 on +4s, 3-2 wilds, 2-1 on +2s. Steven's got a little more skips, but everything's been pretty clean. It hasn't been the ammo. This spot's been really fair, I would say, especially this group. The Group A, we've had a little bit some lopsides, but that's because JT is JT. Most of it's been fair, though, I would say, as we go into Brock's last game. What do you got to see in Brock's last game to get that 2-1 and take it on the road?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be key, right? I mean, he was able to kept it in the middle, and it worked out. I mean, he definitely had to fight to win this game. I mean, neither player had a +4 from the looks of it. I think Steve would have +4 if he had one. He did have the +2, but really, I mean, there's not much to really say there. That's just hindsight. So I think it was definitely an interesting game, and it seemed as if the switches were definitely a big factor. Brock finding that yellow 8, and then just being able to run it down to get to Uno. It definitely things worked out for him there, and Steven really maybe could have thought about using that wild earlier, but again, there's no way of knowing. So I think not much to really say in terms of how they're playing. I think they're both playing pretty clean. Just Brock being able to find a way to keep that wild without Steven being able to do anything, because when it comes down to it, I mean, Just Steven thought he just wouldn't have the wild because he had one of his own. So I mean, it's just something you have to look into going into the next game. But I think for Brock, it's just keeping it cool, keeping the card source the same. Because I mean, it's I guess in terms of the mid packs, it's 1/1. So he can definitely just go for it again and see if it works.
Well, we'll see what Brock does. Brock, no 10. Everything else is available, my friend. What do we got here? We know that 7 through 10 is lethal. What do we got for this last game?
All right, let's try 8.
Crazy 8s for William Brock to cap it off at home. There we go. Yeah, a little slow on that. We apologize there if it's coming off a little slow. Happens.
Yeah, picking even numbers for all these games.
And we saw last night we saw Ghost Chomik run 13 cards 3 times. This isn't a surprise. All right, early trip 3. Okay, Monkey to Zay to Radin. Brock's not going to go for no rainbow. And this is the thing. When you do those early switches, you got to assume Brock's going to have all 4 colors and knows how to manage it very well. He's one of the best at it, the fading. That's the risk when you switched in with him.
It's definitely a good thing to have, especially when you're.
Oh my goodness, William Brock throws the gauntlet down. He's gonna get it.
Yeah, that's Brock for you.
Oh yeah, Brock throwing the gauntlet down now because it's so early. You have no idea what color he has. That's the thing. That's what Brock wants you to do. He doesn't want you to think. He wants you to figure it out.
Yeah. He doesn't have the red, so
for now, we know he's one of the best at doing his saved stuff. Let's see. Here's the 8. Let's see if Brock gets top deck.
Well, he did.
Point 2.
Oh my god!
He's daring Steven
could do something here
if he wants to. This is what Brock does. He wants more cards. Goodness. He wants.
Yeah, we'll see. He's gonna do it.
Ties the game. That's what Brock does, man. He dares you to say, all right, reset it. That's WB.
Yeah, I mean, Stevens is going to roll with the punches. He switches on the 0.
I think yellow's a safe play. I think with 4 freshies, I don't think Brock's going to mind it, nor will Steven. Yep. Brock's still with the PA. Back to green.
Oh, boy. Wait a minute. Light switching right now.
Yeah, this is an interesting light switch. Let's see if Brock can find a double here.
He's
got the double into a triple.
Don't tell me another +2.
KT in the building. Oh boy.
Aggressive, but it's working.
William Brock, aggression out of the wazoo, looking for a big play. He does get it. Let's see. Goes to green. That's a good move. Unless Brock's got 7 heaven. He's got 7 heaven, William Brock! There's the red. We talked about this. We just said, just because he doesn't have red doesn't mean he won't have it in the back pocket. You gotta learn. That's WB. William Brock.
Even does he have anything? Not really. If it's red, it's over.
Is it a 9 or a red? No, it ain't. Brock just 1 card showing the red. Unbelievable, though.
All right.
Back to a 7.
Boy.
Did Brock have number efficiency, though?
Wait, okay.
Yeah, that would have been crazy on the number efficiency.
All right, where's Steven at? Oh, it's tied. I didn't even realize. Well, okay.
Never mind. Straw City. Well,
that is really sad.
I'm hearing background. You good? Oh, yeah, you good?
Yeah, I was trying to mute it.
You're good. I'll go. I'll take it a little bit. You can finish up that convo. Red 2 now. Both going to draw. So they both get out of a pickle situation. It's crazy sequence right there. Brock, 1 card away from making that work. That was incredible. Brad, I was going to come to you, Brad. Brad, you've talked about this with Brock, man. He does these crazy plays. Your thoughts on Brock's evolution of that? Because sometimes he just waits he almost sits back and waits for the pass to come to him instead of just trying to force the pass. He just sits and waits in the pocket and doesn't force anything. Here we go. There's the fade look, Brock. You got to assume this is WB. This is WB. You know he's going to have something in the back end on yellow. That's what he always does.
That is. So he was able to triple the 2s, and now Stevens revealed he doesn't Just runs out of blue. Yeah.
Brock double play. Yep, he might be out of blue too, though. So this is see what he does.
It's just about does get it off the draw another 7, so maybe with enough
No, it's
sevens.
Brock
He
again with
got
the
another
fade.
7.
Unbelievable what his fade looks.
My god.
William Brock, a master of fades tonight. Unbelievable.
I mean, all Steven can do is just play.
Brock looking for
But
check.
okay, it doesn't work out.
There's no call out. Brock always gets the Uno call. We're gonna go back to Draw City.
When Steven gets the draw, he has to draw himself, and the switches are only going to be risky at this point.
This is a risky switch. Brock for 3. He's got it.
Okay.
Tie game. Brock for dose. Got the PA.
Oh my goodness.
He's got it.
All right, can Steven keep it going?
I think he will be able to keep it going. The question is, can he get the Uno here?
Oh, he's saving. He's always got the Uno.
Got the check. Brock, does he have anything to respond?
Could be. Okay, we could see double Uno. Oh my!
It's double Uno, Steve for the win. No call
Yeah,
out.
it's with his card. His card for Uno.
Brock with his card.
What?
No. He got it.
Okay.
There's no need for the call out. You didn't need the call out. I was like, what? But
just in case.
Yeah, you didn't need. Yeah, no, you're good. Cause if. Yeah, no, I got you. Brock, real quick, did you have a yellow at the end? Did you have double yellow?
No, I had a blue skip.
Oh wow, so it wasn't okay. So who knows? Maybe more cards would have worked out in your favor. Brock, you did a good job on fading every look. I thought once again you did a good job on just the fades, but I'm not sure where it went wrong. Could you have played the +4 a little later and saved it, or was your plan just try to get to the red to the end and see if you can run it? Because you did everything right, in my opinion, on icing out the blue.
Well,
he got you on the back end.
Well, that +4 was really the only card I have that could go forward. Otherwise, I would have had to draw.
Okay. So it was just more of a you're in a box situation? I got you. And you had a +2, you left it open. You wanted more cards. So I get what you're saying. Steven, you decided to go for the bet. You gave him more cards. It worked out because in the end, Brock only got a +2 on merit on that. Or not +2, a wild on merit with a +2 combo. Have you just said, you know what? We got to run with the game flow tonight, be aggressive when need to be aggressive, and then play conservative when need to be conservative? Is your game flow improving in these first 3 games where there's been more mid-tier packages to start off here? Talk me through how your game flow has been improving through these first 3 games.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely getting more of a feel for how Brock plays, so it's interesting seeing the results of things and seeing what he's gonna do. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sick right now, but yeah, just really being observant, seeing what he does, and yeah, I just had to take. I mean, he laid out that +2 for me, and I had a +2, and I think that was actually the only ammo I had, at all that game. So yeah, it did end up working out heavily. So, that's all I have to say.
Yoshi, this has been an interesting series so far. 2-1, Steven, but we have seen this many times before. It's never over in Super League, right? Brock, the thing I'll say about William Brock, the one thing, you never know when he can come back, and he has 3 more games. A lot of these people that are still playing, they only got 2 games left, right? They might only have 2 games. Like, look at JT's only got 2 left. Ghost, 2 games left. Steven, after this week, 2 games left. Brock's got 3. That's the advantage with the week. You got 3 more weeks. Week 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 3 more weeks after this. The rest got 2. Do you think with that mindset, knowing that, hey, a point ain't going to be the worst thing for Brock, we know he's got a big match with Chamic coming up, who's very similar, and he knows how to play non-style at the end of the week 5. Do you think Brock needs to think about that point here tonight instead of trying to go for the win, or do you think he can still play aggressive, knowing that we have no idea what Steven's going to do on the homestand? And I think Yoshi's out. Okay, well.
Okay, so it's going to come down to how Brock, how many game wins he can get, because, I mean, I think he's just got to keep playing, and then if Steven ends up getting another game win, it's like, all right, now I just got to go for the point. So, yeah, you may be down, but obviously it really doesn't mean anything. It could definitely turn right back around. Brock still has a chance to um, win these next 3 games and take the win, but I think it's just his best way of winning is just going with the flow, and I think if he does that, he may find a way to win these next 3 games. But what really matters, I think, is at least getting some points out of this, and especially in your first week, you don't want to be like Nam where you start off on a loss because then you have to work your way up, and it's definitely not easy. So I think getting a point definitely isn't bad, but if he really wants to get a leg up, put himself in a spot where there's less pressure, I think the win would definitely be good. But of course, with this being the first week, you could definitely still feel comfortable with only 1 point to your name.
Yeah, Brock, like the only guy, like I said, Brock and Sam for the only 2 guys that will have 3 after this. The rest of these guys, different story. Steven knows he won't be back till week 4. That is a pivotal matchup with Nam coming in week 4. Who knows what Nam will be on? He could be on a tear. We have no idea. We never know with Nam. But it's back to Steven. 12-8 is off the board. He'll get his first home game in his game 4. My friend, it's been a while. What's it going to be? No 12-8. Let's hop off the evens because we're going 13. Is that what we're looking at here? We're going to go, okay, full send. Okay.
I had that pre-planned.
Yeah, usually it's going to be 13 or 15 with Steven. I noticed that. He's a big full center. Brock, yeah, it doesn't. I don't think Brock will really care about the higher start. He's more just whatever, go with the flow kind of guy. We'll see how it goes. And we're out of Pez off the start. We'll go green 6 now. A lot more cards, though, so a lot more fade looks for both players, a lot more opportunities for both players. That should be okay. Should be a blue skip, green skip combo at minimum.
Well, I mean,
okay, so he's going to
try to get the 6.
Brock could get it back.
Okay, so Steven could play.
You're going to let him play it. You're going to let him play it. Skip 6, same pronunciation. Yeah. You got us there. It's all good. Potato, tomato, I got
you. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes now. Steven going to try to get out of that with the blue skip, try to get that off the board. He will. Goes triple. Could have just went with the red 6, ironically. But he's going to go aggressive. Brock, not going to rush that, just going to a red 0. Yeah. Red 8 now.
Relatively long way to go still, and I mean Brock just gonna roll with the switches, and he's gonna join in on it.
Brock gonna roll with it, he'll join in. All right.
We're already on the last color, and there's a ditto.
Well, that was probably gonna be his next play anyway. Game going quick here. Steven's starting to run it down. Let's see if Brock will just go half off.
Oh my goodness.
Again, my goodness. A lot of those 8 and 4. The AB combo, the AB Camaro combo, been huge on those dittos. And there's Alex. That's tripped. This is the similar hands on numbers.
All right. Will we see this double stingray? No. Okay.
No shot. That would have been something. Yeah.
All right. Where are we at? 6 to 8. Steven looking for 5, maybe even a double play here. Okay, wait a minute.
I was going to say, I've been crazy if you had double sting. I've been saying.
Okay, no, just another yellow.
No, it's playing it cool.
Let's see 5.
See when Brock makes the move. Brock is a guy, yeah, I was going to say.
Right.
Try to go back to blue, see if he can spice it back up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, use the skips to get out of blue, so maybe Steven ran out. But okay.
That's a heat
Goes
check.
Back to yellow. Interesting.
Let's see if Brock's got nothing.
Wow.
He has no wild. Uh-oh. I think this might be a run here. I don't think Brock can do much on this.
We'll see. He has the
he can't do much on this. He can't do much on this.
Yeah, that should
That's
be it.
Game. 100%. Yeah, Brock couldn't do much. Brock, I have to say you couldn't do much there, right? There's no way.
Yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot I could do there.
Yeah, it's a rare. I'm looking at this, Yoshi. That's a rare case where the bot just it pretty much gave Steven the game. I don't really, let me say, just to confirm, yeah, Brock did everything he could, maximized the dittos, maximized number efficiency. Steven had to, Steven, I mean, the only thing I could ask you really is, it's not really much of an ask, but I guess, do you think the dittos almost play in your favor? It limits the number range, right, for Brock to possibly get you out and trip you up on that ending combo? May force a wild a little early, which the dittos almost playing into your favor. That's really all I got, because you didn't draw one, so it's a Plan A victory.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, playing the dittos, like, playing regular cards or playing a ditto would have, like, worked out, or it could have worked out like it did here, or it can, if, like, he wanted to switch, if he played his card and then I played a ditto, and then he had a number of a different color, then that could have ended horribly, but I just felt like doing dittos because I love playing dittos, so as long as it works out for me, then I'm happy.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. Brock going to have to get the one more. He's going to have to get 2 wins to get the points. Steven looking to get the win. That'd be a big moment. We've only had 2 people win so far, which was JT Chomik. See if he can join Chomik. Remember, Steven wins this game, will tie Chomik on the leaderboard. If Brock gets the tie, then he's still in the hunt, and that means now he'll be sole possession of last. Interesting moments right here. Brock in an interesting spot. Can Steven get the job done? Big game 5. Steven, everything's on the board, buddy, except for the old 8, 12, 15. What's it going to be for game number 5? 5 card. We're going to no-send this, boy, oh boy. Yoshi, this is a big one right here. No, I don't know if you're muted, but this is a big one. We see this with Ghost sometimes. It sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Big aggression right here.
This is a huge game now. He wants to end it right now. I mean, it's, as we've seen, it's not easy to get a win 4-2. Or it's not easy to get a win early. So maybe he can find it. Oh, okay.
Oh boy. Brock looking for 4. We saw this last night with Chomik and Ghost, where Ghost tried the 5-card special.
Wait a minute, okay.
Back to 5, Brock looking for 3. And this can go quick. I mean, it's 5 cards.
Yeah, definitely. Steven just taking a chance, and
oh my word. Brock gets it to dose.
Oh no.
Brock already on the doorstep. Now, that's the thing with 5 cards, man. You're already on the doorstep.
Let's see. Steven, look, maybe got something off of that. Okay.
Okay, gonna leave it open.
Yeah, that's fine.
Never mind. Brock ain't even gonna do anything with it, so Brock still at 3.
Yeah, Steven's not much to do at the moment.
Brock for check.
Oh, and Brock has them 5.
Not for check. Never mind. Not for check. He had the +2. Right. Not for check. Forgot the +2. So Brock the dose. He gets the red switch. Thought he had double play there for a minute, but no.
I mean, okay, yeah, he's just switching. He's trying to
throw Brock off.
I don't know. Okay,
it worked.
I didn't know if it would, but yeah, just taking a chance pays off.
Let's see what will be for Stevie. Does he have more yellow? Brock just drew.
I mean, also, I feel like based on what Steven's been showing, I feel like he's just got to run it down with what he has. We'll see if he can get it done, but it's going to be a slow and steady situation here. Unless Steven... Oh, okay.
You're good. Usually I call it the numbers, but tonight, a little bit different. Brock's first time here in Super League.
All right.
Trying to get used to Yoshi commentary. It's been a while, so I'm trying to get that going as well. Brock gets it back to red.
The red.
That's where he wanted it earlier.
Steven save any? Oh, wow.
New color, though. New color. Brock
it does help Brock, but I think Steven might want... Oh,
no, he did. He tried ISO. Tried ISO. Brock for check.
Oh,
back to red. God. Crazy fade. William Brock.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Oh.
Brock with the win here? That'd be insane.
I would think so. No.
That was an insane fade look. Well, Brock.
I would have.
Brock, did he have a top deck?
Okay,
He got
well,
top deck.
Yeah.
I mean, if
The
you're
numbers
Steven
gonna-
here, you just bank on no 6, basically. That's pretty much it.
He doesn't got the 6.
No. But does Brock have top deck again?
Oh wait.
No, he got
Yep.
it again, though. I mean, 8 has been played, so I don't think this is a risk. Let's see if Brock's got an 8. No. Top
Just
deck
looking
city
for
for
the number at this
WB,
point.
man.
Steven not getting any. Brock getting all of it.
Brock looking for another top deck. He gets it again. That's heat check.
I think that could be it.
Oh my goodness. Brock has found 4 top decks in a row.
I don't know what to say.
That's unreal.
They do say that.
Steven, you need anything off of this draw.
Nah.
I don't think he's got it, yeah.
No, that's Brock 3-2. Brock's back in the building. Yeah, I think. Unfortunately, Steven, I gotta think it had to be wrong number on the 5. And we saw this with Ghost last night. He did the same thing, and the momentum shifted. Brock, insane fade look, man, on the red. Talk to me about that. You've done this before, where you would go to one color, then go right back to a draw and play the top deck strategy. You're one of the best at it. Talk to me how that worked out.
Well, when I managed to get down to that red for my last card, I was disappointed that I couldn't. That Steven didn't give me a right card to end it then, but at least when both of us got in the draw city, I kind of knew I had an opportunity to, get better cards to push me to victory.
Steven, I gotta think the 5 cards was worth the gamble in your head, but you're kind of regretting it knowing that you probably had some more in the tank, but unfortunately, just how it works out. Do you think about maybe going a little bit up? Do you keep the range? I mean, we know in the past you've done on a closer. We saw it, classic 7s before. Obviously, you can't go to that 15, but your thoughts on just what you got to do for this last game to still secure the point, put Brock and Nam at the -2, 0 points, or what do you got to do in terms of strategy on the ammo cards? Because ultimately, I think what lost you that game is it blew off the start, and Brock had the edge off there to get you off 2 possessions. Talk me to it.
No, yeah, it was a mix of, I wanted to do 5 cards because I love mixing it up, and it's game 5, so, but, I got really unlucky, it could have been any other color except green, because I had a yellow +2 and a blue +2, so if it had been either of those, then it would have been a different scenario, but no, it had to be green. So I think I might be bringing up the starting hand a bit, just a bit.
All right, we'll see how it goes. We'll go to Yoshi. Thank you, Steve, for those thoughts. This is a big one. Right, this is a big one. Yoshi, you got Brock here looking to salvage a point. Like I said, if Brock salvages this point, it's not the worst. He's got 3 more weeks left. He's got 3. The rest of these guys have 2. Steven gets this win. Now it puts Brock in a different hole where it's basically Nam and Brock, the 2 favorites of this group, and 0 points and a -2. What a turn of events could be. What do you think Steven's got to do for this last game? What do you think Brock's got to do? Because his fade looks are starting to really kick in now, and that's where Brock gets scary.
Yeah, I think the big key to that 5-card start game was you gotta watch out for the top decks, because as I think you said in the middle of one of these games, Brock's top deck is just different, and it's and I think with 5 cards, there's more opportunity to just draw and get something good, and so I think Steven. I think the 5, if he didn't have, I feel like without the top decks, Steven had a chance to win that. But, it's definitely something he has to look at going into this last game. I think he could take the risk again, but that would rely on him getting a good hand, I feel. There's really no other way about it. I think his most dominant win here was that game, was that 15 card start, oddly enough, when he had that wild and then the finish. Yeah, the plan A. I mean, it's not like that's going to happen again, but just it's just maybe that's just where his wheelhouse is, and maybe he should go back to that. It's hard because it's really dependent on what the bot's going to give you, but I don't know. You're now in a spot where if you want the points, you have to get it done. You at least can get 1 point off of it, but knowing there's an opportunity for 3, now the pressure's on.
Pressure is on. Steven's going to have the last call. We know it can't be the same. 15-8-12. What's it going to be, buddy? Last call for Game 6. You know, Steven's done a lot. We've seen we've seen the classic 7. Oh, okay. That's not okay. I had a feeling it was going to be the OG full. Finish it off.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's not no teeny, but that's a lot. Well, there we go. Yoshi reverse. There it is.
Testament to my comment, me coming back after a little bit.
God knows. All right, last game. Can Brock close this out tied, or does Steven get the points? Remember, he's going to go aggressive. This is the thing. We've seen these aggressive plays. Brock's not known to do that, right? He's not, and he's going to be a little bit more, I guess, amiable to use a little bit more of the ammo towards the end because now Steven's burned some. I think Brock might be in a good spot to try some Tago strats. That's what he usually does when you go aggressive off that first turn. He's going to do it right here.
Yeah, I think the Brock is most aggressive on the color switches.
Oh, he's
more so aggressive. The ammo. Like, ironically, he's more aggressive on switching the color than actually using ammo, and it's such an interesting strategy, and you really have to. It really keeps the opponent on their toes.
Oh my god, he's going crazy with it. Brock going crazy with it. The Brad now.
You can only run with it so many times as you go down.
He's flushing Steven's ammo. He's flushing Steven's ammo. This is what Brock does. He's forcing you to play multifaceted, and I think it's a gamble in Game 6, but he's known to see. Okay. He's just flushing the ammo out. That's all he's doing. Brock now knows.
Oh my god!
This is getting aggressive.
Steven is still able to run it. Oh my!
Well, that was going to be his next move anyway. Okay.
Not going to find the switch again. All right.
I think Brock will pull the trigger right here. He's got nothing.
Uh-oh. Double green 5. That's a sign, I think.
It could be.
But he had the 5.
He's got the blue 5, and it works.
That had to have been top deck.
And blue, and look at that, Brock with a classic.
I think that had to have been a top deck, because he would have played... Bro.
William Brock, the master of top deck, Kevin. This is what makes William Brock. He's never out of it because his top deck magic, he knows how to time it. That's Brock. And Steven did a great job, but I think he's going to look back and say, I probably could have saved a little bit. Maybe just don't even +2 him, right? Don't give Brock the momentum. Now Brock, all of a sudden, this is where he wants him, Yoshi. In Draw City, away from that finish line, and we'll reset it.
Yeah, it definitely has the knowledge on what Steven wants and doesn't want, but yeah, I don't know. It's unlikely that the cards are going to align for Steven at this point, but okay. It depends on the switches at this point, for Steven at least.
Brock's still aggressive.
Yeah,
that has to be at least 30 switches from Brock in these last 2 games alone. He's still going.
Hold on. Time switch color. Yeah, Brock's at 33 right now.
Probably about 15 in the last 10 minutes here from Brock, at least.
I mean...
This is Tago City right here. Tago Ed all over again.
Okay.
Steven now going to run it. Brock still content. Hasn't thrown any ammo. I think that's going to change shortly.
Maybe. I think if he's saving it, I think it's a great move, honestly. Because the moment Steven... Okay.
I don't think he's going to be saving it much longer. He's starting to... Yep. I had a feeling. Brock wasn't going to wait around here. Brock gets it into a triple for sure. Does he have a quad? Maybe a quint. Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Brock with the quad.
honestly, yeah. The +2 helps as well.
That's a big move from Brock. He ties it up. Back to Cap.
Okay.
But now I have no
I'm-
idea. I have no idea. They've been switched. Back
Oh.
to you, William. Brock, are you
It
kidding?
was a good idea, but Brock had the 4.
Man, Brock, does he have more in the tank, though?
I mean,
does.
on yellow, I would think so. Steven does not,
Nothing,
and
nothing.
this is Brock's opportunity.
Brock, the opportunity. Can he get it? The Rock,
Oh.
+2. No call out.
I
Brock
think-
for check.
Wait.
William, Brock, are you kidding me? No call out, Brock for the
Yeah.
win. That's it. Brock ties it
Oh.
up, and I have to think right there, rookie mistake from Steven by giving him the cards. Brock, master class on fade looks and understanding the game in a fortuitous spot. You know, you're down to your last strike, 3-1. You win the last 2, get the point. And like I said, man, you and Sanford had 3 more games. The rest of these guys got 2. You got to feel great about yourself getting that point and getting up to speed week 1. Thoughts on that game, man, for your week 1 versus everybody else's week 2? Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of been, sort of peaks and valleys as far as the individual games themselves. But overall, I think I've done a tremendous job, and all of my opponents have done great jobs as well. I'm just just hopefully I can try and come out on top in these next games.
Brock, your thoughts on playing Chomik? You obviously have seen him against Nam that first time we saw Chomik Nam. Thoughts on what Chomik's going to bring to the table? He plays split ammo, which has been his known strategy, but he's got game flow. Thoughts how you got to approach Chomik in week 3?
Well, I guess one way to approach him is maybe try to be a little more aggressive, but maybe not too aggressive because obviously you don't want to use too much of your ammo. Yeah, maybe try to be a little bit more aggressive.
All right, thank you, Brock. Steven, obviously you had a chance to secure those 3 points. Big opportunity. You couldn't capitalize, but you do get a tie. It's all about points round. You're basically tied with Ghost now. Could you have maybe been a little bit less aggressive on the +2s? Well, yeah, that seemed to be the one thing. You went aggressive off the start, and Brock just sat back and waited. Could you have been a little bit more conservative and just save that ammo? Or were you just trying to go for the kill shot and get that 4th win and finish the job? Thoughts on what he could have done a little bit better at game, or did you think you maximized it the best you could, especially on that +2 early?
I mean, yeah, potentially that could have saved me. I'm just scrolling up to see what +2 it was. Blue, right? Wait,
Yes.
Yeah, blue. So, yeah, potentially. Blue didn't pop up out any time after that. So, but I mean, hey, I'd say I did the best that I could. I was only looking back to see what color it was because I did end up drawing a red +2 near the end, and it before the chain happened. So that potentially could have saved me. I'm not exactly sure, but probably not because it ended up being yellow and green at the end and not blue or red. So yeah, I think I did the best that I could. I'm honestly proud and fine with a tie. As you said, it's going to come down to points. So I'm just hoping that, there will be a little slip up. The people that will keep winning, and the people that will keep losing. And maybe with my ties, I'll secure that 3rd spot. So we'll see.
Your thoughts on just obviously you have the bye week next week and got to see things out. But I would say you probably had one of the toughest schedules where you come in with Brock, one of the perennial favorites for sure in this group. Then you got to go to Nam. Thoughts on playing Nam and then to finish it off with Chomik in the last 2 weeks? Those are big challenges.
Well, as you hype it up, it is really nerve-wracking to really play against these big names because I hear so much from you and from Yoshi just saying how good these players are. But to me, the way I see it, everyone's a clean slate. I don't know how any of these guys are going to be playing. So yeah, it's just been about adapting. And to me, I guess the way I see it, like, yeah, it's just a clean slate. And that their reputation beforehand for these guys doesn't matter to me. I'm just gonna be playing like how I usually do in D2, and I'm not gonna let the status of being the only D2 player in a D1 championship phase me.
That's the way you do, man. That's the way you're doing a great job. 6-6, right? 6 up, 6 down on your record. Got 2 points, and you're with Ghost. Right? That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do. You don't gotta win the group. All you gotta do is advance, right? Strive and advance. And as you said, Yoshi, obviously, Steven's definitely impressed for sure tonight. He's done a great job holding his own against 2 of the bigger players in the league. Thoughts on just Brock coming back, though? But we talked about William Brock. Remember, he has the advantage. He's got 3 more. A lot of these guys got 2. Steven's got 2 left. Chamik's got 2 left, right? Everybody's got 2 left in this group. Ghost literally doesn't have a week 5. Brock's got 3 more chances coming up. Where do you think Brock can improve as he goes into a big pivotal match with the points leader in Chamik? And thoughts on Steven? Obviously, we'll see him next week on a bye, but huge match with Nam, who's going to be pissed after being the only guy with 0 points in this group. And the only guy with 0 points technically in both groups, because we haven't seen Sanford play, to have just flat out lost with DJ.
Right. So this is going to be interesting because now with Brock being able to get that point, I guess he has to look at just what, he had to win game 6 to get that tie. So definitely don't want to be in a position where you start off losing, just to be able to get a point because, Brock. I think Brock is one of the best in those types of situations. There are some players who, their mindset, isn't the best. And it's definitely hard to have a good mindset when you're down. But, Brock just being able to just get through these obstacles, and where it seems like, he's not gonna get it done. He just finds a way. I mean, that's where he's gonna shine. But what I think he's probably gonna have to do if he eventually is find that win. And I think he was definitely close in this case because I think if it weren't for that, I don't know. Like this definitely was a game where I think both players almost maximized their potential, and maybe Steven with a little bit of misplay, and giving Brock the opportunity to get a leg up on what his strategy is. But still, even when you know his strategy, Brock still is able to get these wins, and I think he's definitely got he always has those crucial switches up his sleeve, that fade look up his sleeve, and no matter what, no matter how much you expect it, he's going to find a way to at least get to Uno. I mean, the amount of times he's got to Uno when we just least expected it, it's lethal. And when you get someone who's like, okay, I don't know what to do here, and then they get the wrong switch, like that's what Brock does. He pressures you into making a risky move, and I think that's where he's gonna definitely put a pin on these next 2 players. So I think with Nam, sometimes he makes the wrong move, and I mean, there's not much to say about Chamik. I mean, he's doing pretty well so far.
For sure.
I think Chamik's going to be his biggest challenge, but Nami's definitely got an advantage at the moment. So I think this is good because, who else does he face?
Brock or Steven?
Brock.
Brock will play Chamik next, and he's got Ghost in week 4.
Oh yeah, Ghost. Yeah,
Brock and
yeah,
Nam is last week. That could be insane. That could be an insane match.
Right. So I think Brock can feel comfortable knowing he has Nam at the back end, where he's definitely got the biggest advantage in comparison to everyone else. The other 2, I think he has to adapt to their styles along with trying to use his style with it. But I think he can definitely mix in with it well. I mean, he's able to get the tie on Steven So I think he'll be fine. It's really going to come down to if he can maybe even find a win on one of those two. That could be the exactly what he needs to move on. And then for Steven, I think it's very cool to just see him keep up with players with these calibers being able to do really well in D1 and just still able to just be neck and neck. And yeah, he may have had the 3-1 lead and he lost the last two, but at the end of the day, when you're in a Super League, it's not when you come from D2 to Super League, there's a lot to learn from it. You're going to make mistakes along the way, but if you're getting these wins to salvage like a point, I think that's definitely an accomplishment within itself. Steven definitely is definitely in this it's in a similar position to Ghost. I think whoever finds that win or whoever ends up losing is going to be the difference. Is going to be the key difference because they're good at getting ties, but it's going to come down to who's going to break out first. And they face each other already.
Right.
It's just who's going to break out on the other opponents is going to be the key. I feel. I think Steven has a decent idea on how these Super League players are going to play. I mean, they're different play styles, of course, but he's able to tie these guys, and we'll see what he can do against Nam and Shamik, because I think they're definitely going to be difficult, but definitely doable, considering he was able to tie Brock, who I think was the top seed of this group. So
No, Nam is.
Oh, Nam. Okay.
Nam and Brock are the two guys definitely are the guys to watch for sure.
But yeah, so like just being able to tie with Brock and even be in the lead, like he's definitely you definitely have to think about he has a chance against Nam. He's definitely not out of it. So he's gonna probably need that win if he wants to make sure he guarantees himself in. But really, I think keeping these ties up is not a bad thing either, because losing is the big thing you want to avoid.
I agree, man. I think this is going to come down to basically can Steven and Ghost, who will get that win. And I think with Steven on a bye next week, not the worst case to be in. Ghost has to play Nam, and Nam is going to be fired up after losing to Chomik. For Brock, I really think his path here, I agree. One more tie, I don't think it's the worst thing. He knows he's got Nam's number. He knows it. He gets a win there. He's got, I think, 2 more ties, 6. It's going to get you in. Remember, the rules are different. It's top 3. If this was top 2, no one's safe. Legit, I would say nobody's safe right now if it was top 2. But because we changed the rules to top 3 for this year as an experimental trial, I think you can play a lot more with the points now because it's top 3 event. It makes a difference. I think Brock's in a good spot. I think Steven can be happy with that as well. Don't have an update sheet, but basically 3 games up, 3 games tied. That's how we do it here. 1 more game to go when we finally see the long last of Charles Sanford. He's back on the table after a long break, just snuck into the field. What will he do against Toaster Guy? Toaster Guy at a point needs to get that win to tie JT in the groups. If he loses that game, that's Lane's probably his best friend right there. Sanford could be Lane's best friend. That's something to know. It'll be an interesting dynamic in Group A. Regardless, though, through 2 weeks, the following standings are prevailing. It's Chomik with still a nice +2 game differential, which is the first tiebreaker, not head-to-head, with 4 points. Ghost and Steven are tied at 2 with 2 to play. Brock, remember, 1 point, but has 3 more games left. And now I'm off the bye. Big game for him coming up. He also has 3 more games left. Big moment for Nam as well to figure out some things. Nam and Brock, the bottom 2, the 2 perennial favorites, not at the top after 2 weeks. That is an intriguing developing story. We'll see how it ends in week 5. We'll see how it ends in week 4 too, setting up week 5, which will be the clutch week. A lot to go. 3 more weeks left. We'll see Steven back in week 4. We'll see him in November, basically. And we'll see Brock at the end of October next week. For all of us here at MRU, it's been a great night. We got 1 more game coming up. Yoshi will be back approximately 9 o'clock. I got to flip everything over, so it might be a little bit delayed. We'll see you guys at 9 o'clock. The final game of week 2. Toasty Sanford. Going to be a good one. Sanford back. Toasty looking for more. We'll see you then.